you're here. Congratulations. Now you're halfway there. In other words, there's a lot more to do. All right. Whatever you've done in the past, that's great. Okay. But guess what? You never made to million to billion. I did. Why haven't you? I think you're stuck. I'm going to give you an opportunity to play with me about some business opportunities. I do things with clients all the time. It's kind of fun. About 30% of them like getting their hands dirty. I want to teach them all that, get through and fight through the pain. 70%, Ray, can you help me along the way? No problem. And then they get their hands dirty anyway. I kind of force them to learn anyway. It's terrible. I torture my clients sometimes. It's fun. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid. See, nobody likes to be backed in a corner, all right, and getting stuck. It's like right now, there's no pictures, no recording. I want you to put it here. Stuck sucks. It does. I mean, I look at the list right here, all right, and we got Bill here. Bill, I took him basically to millionaire. He screwed it up twice and came back again and again. No problem. Sounds great. What did Bill do? He didn't do the division process. He got one lawsuit and it tore his company apart. Linda here, hey, guess what? I've made her a millionaire 5 times. 5 damn times. And it's like, Linda, stop screwing up. She's been a client since 1987. John done pretty good here. All right, he's right now doing about 600,000 a month. David, this morning, I popped him another card for 50,000. He's at 6 million a year now. See, what happens is some of you get into the program, then you do little pieces, and then I'm sorry, don't feel bad, but I call it you're doing a half-assed job. That's right. You didn't commit 100%. You got 1 foot on the boat, 1 foot on the shore, and it's like, ah! Sometimes you create your own stress. But let's understand something today, okay? Bank of America last week announced they're closing 400 more locations, 400 more. Chase notified everybody as well, so did US Bank, Wells Fargo. So here we go again, you not paying attention about making money. Money makes the world go round. You know this, and so do I. It pays the bills, gets that stress off your back. Draw the diagram here. See, until you draw the diagram and understand it 100%, you're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. The goal is not easy. You got a goal, you got an idea. Okay, we have an idea. We start with a list. Okay, we check it twice. We know you've been naughty and not nice. So that has some humor too. So here's a goal. Okay, I want a car. Well, A, is it my car, the company's car, or division car? See, it's like that goal. What do? You have to break down each piece. I want a company car, I want to write it off. Well, that's typical. You can do that. But the problem is in a bumpity bump, they sue the registered owner, which is you. So that means a division process. See, the problem you got is whatever you do in life and business has to be a division. Because right now we're looking at corporation and corporation. This is Bank of America, Chase, US Bank, Wells Fargo. They're bankrupting, like they just announced, B of A, 400 locations. You find it on Google, 400 more, 400. They're bankrupting them, and they what? They bankrupt the location. They take the money and the assets and they walk away. Banks were smart when they bought Zelle, because when you go to the branches to make a deposit or withdrawal, okay, that's simple. Zelle, okay. In the credit card processors. So when we structure and you look at this, let's understand. Your problem is half of you, and maybe all of you backed yourself in a corner. You did not listen, okay? Or you've heard it over again, but you haven't followed through. See, the only thing you're willing to sacrifice is a division. I've had more clients text me or email me, oh shit, I wish I would have listened to you. Oh shit, I would have listened to you. And that's what happens. On this side here, we have to look at we the people. The banks, grocery stores, and cities. Okay, now we the people. If you don't get to the point you understand the division process, you're going to be a duck and a sheep all your life. And I don't think you're a duck or a sheep. But the reality is you follow ducks and sheep. You end up doing stupid because they did stupid. The reality is you got choices. The division process, it's like an income. If we're going to create an income, we have to find a way to get money coming in. Is it profit or non-profit? Is it a bridge loan? Is it money coming in off a credit card and making money, which is the easiest thing to do. But again, you start doing it, but you don't finish it up. But again, what do we do next? We look at the pieces. So the goal is just like anything else today. If we look at we the people and banks, grocery stores, and cities, all right, we can do the same thing. That's why I designed it. I saw it in my head before I created it. So the goal is that was a vision that I believe God gave me. When we look at the banks, by the end of this year, bankrupt company B of A will bankrupt over 8,000 locations because they don't need them anymore. Again, they get to make more money. But again, that's what Chase, US Bank, Wells Fargo does. If you're going to play with me or an opportunity for even you, it's going to be division process. I will not try to help you personally 100% that you do business under you, because I call that stupid. We have to balance the family. The most important thing in life is a home. All right, I'll provide the house, you'll make it a home. The most important thing for women is their security, and their home life is their security. Home is where the heart is. But again, you listen to silly people on TikTok and Google and blah, blah, blah. You don't need to buy a house. Yes, I stop. I mean, there's so many people full of doo-doo, it's ridiculous. They finance everything, but they tell you not to. So we look at Sam's Club or Walmart. Walmart bankrupt our locations, but they were fined $55 million 6 weeks ago. Ow, 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 like they really hurt. When you got millions and billions, nobody cares. Reality is going to be up to you. We look at Geico, we look at cities. So if you're going to play your way or my way, all right, the reality is we have to use division process. Without that, we're stuck. All right, so again, they're all still in business. So your goal always will be in every presentation, you have to stop bringing the pain home. It's not easy. Rebalancing somebody's debt, getting past go, not easy at all. But again, what do we get to do? You have to become a certified CFO for your personal life as well as your business life. In other words, you have to understand how it works. If you don't get your hands dirty, you're going to get stuck every time. Reprogram your brain to millionaire status. Me as a little boy, I always knew I'd be a millionaire. I realized it should be corporate millionaire, and that's what happened down the road. So I did that at 14 and a half years old. All right, I was lucky while I was being used and abused, I paid attention. That a corporation's a legal person. So when you start looking behind that curtain, it's like we look at baby Avery here. Avery's done great. He has a bridge loan. Okay, the problem is he's got enough credit to have 5 of these, but he doesn't pull the trigger. Okay, he should actually have all 5 in place so he could actually replace his income or enhance it. Those 5 bridge loans would make more money than he makes as a paycheck, but he's stuck. All right, his stuck is here. He's stuck for some reason. We look at Lewis here. Lewis, I'm proud of him. Hell, he's done great. Lewis, every time I talk, I say, damn, you're doing phenomenal. But then he started dragging payments, and I got a county beating me up. And I'm still helping Lewis and go, hey, Lewis, you got to step it up a little bit. And then he ghosts me. I'm still maintaining his file, but hell, I want to get him to million to billion. But again, he has to let me do that. Princess is fantastic. Okay, she did good. Balance this, balance that, get her a gold card. Then American Express, slow this and slow down. Now she's kind of like sitting there going like this. But, you know, they ought to be like the Dave. Joseph, I just got off the phone for it. He's got 112,000 a month now. 112,000. Okay, all right, we're doing food trucks. Dispatch, ran by other people. But he's an investor. See, when you get this stuff, the only thing you want to do is invest it. Because it's not your money anyway, so who cares? The difference is it's corporate credit, can't hurt you. Personal credit can. But if we balance the debt, we can write it all off. You know, for me, it's like if you spend $50,000, okay, that's a lot of money. I'd rather put money in the bank, leverage it, reference 3 times 5, spend the borrow money. Because borrow money is not taxable. At the same time, I'm solving 2 problems. A, I'm growing the business, not running out of cash flow, and I'm offsetting my taxes at the same time. So that's where you have to look behind the curtain. It's like a broker's list. What type of business should we be in? I don't want you to run one. I just want you to be an investor. I want you to own the damn thing and basically just get money coming out of it. Somebody else should own it for you. It's like anything else. I was lucky. While I was being used and abused as a kid, I paid attention. My motivation is to get out of hell. And that was my goal. It's like when at the library, the Torrance Police Department library next door, I wrote this, see it, believe it, go get it. I was 9.5. I was designing and inventing things when I was a little kid, and I kept freaking people out. When you write with both hands and talk at the same time, it's like, that freaks them out too. They said I was retarded or from a different planet. But again, see it, believe it, go get it. That's what I did. But again, it's like repackaging you. If you don't take it serious enough, you're going to have the same rerun you've been having for the last many years you've been alive. You're habit forming. You do the same silly thing all the time. I'm willing to take a chance. I'm willing to roll the dice as long as it's division. If it screws up, I can throw it away. If I pick the right type of corporate, you can do the same thing too. Do you want to be a millionaire? The answer is most people say yes. I'm going to say no. I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't want to own a damn thing. I don't want diddly squat. All I want to do is maintain a corporate millionaire status. I want the corporation to be worth millions and billions, not me. I'm not going to say me, no matter what I do. I always say a corporate structure got 2.6 million when I was 26. That's what I did. I'm not going to say me because they want to take it away. The goal is I want to be the puppet master. Foundation's the key. Here's our problem, okay? Without a corporation, all right, what type, LLC, C Corp, whatever, what matters is getting to the class and understanding how it works. Foundation, structure, what's holding it up? Well, if the corporation gets sued, you're kind of screwed up. Your name is on Secretary of State's website. If a corporation was set up correctly with division process, you're willing to roll the dice as a division. See, you're never going to get where you want to go because half of you are afraid to do it. The other half are freaking lazy. People are lazy or afraid to do it, or they want to get a little crazy to do it. Roll the dice, give it a hell of a try. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I know you heard that before, but the reality is they're talking out there, blah, blah, blah. I'm giving you rules and tools and steps and divisions. So if we write down today's date, your first goal is to basically dissect you. That's right, dissect your credit. We look at the personal credit. What can we take off personal credit, all right, to invest that money? And I'm talking about personal credit. What can I take that I have personal credit to invest in a bridge loan? It's going to maintain the main payments anyway. I can do a division of me under a corporation, use my personal credit, and write it off anyway. So again, structure is the key. Do I have any credit personally that I could do a bridge loan to create $1,000 a month? All right, that's the first thing. Corporation gets credit. Okay, we finance the divisions. Now, which division or corporation can do a bridge loan? The reason I love bridge loans is because it just doubles the money and gets money coming in. The goal is when I first started my first matrix and the things that I did, right, winning the game of business 47 years ago, I was creating cash flow to free up my time. It didn't matter if it was my 22,000 payphones or my 19 houses in auto income. I wanted the money coming in to pay my bills. I realized one thing, I didn't want to go through the crap I went through as a kid. They were meaner on the 1st and the 15th. In other words, they were son of a biscuits on the 1st and 15th. They were beating me more often. So I didn't like that shit. So I knew one thing, all right, I need to create enough money so I don't have to worry about bills. That was my goal. If you dissect yourself, what piece can we turn into money today? What should we do? How do we protect ourselves and our family? Again, dissecting you is to understand how the structure should work. Next, it's like looking in the mirror. I've done this weird mirror test since I was 2.5 years old. You see, I remember laying on the floor crying my eyes out at 2:30 in the morning after the abuser got me. I realized if I got up at 2:25, he couldn't get me. And I've been looking in the mirror ever since. So when you're looking in the mirror and you're crying your eyes out, what do? I knew one thing. I didn't get a mommy and a daddy, so I had to put myself in check. I got a choice, live in hell or get the hell out of hell. And God made me kind of a little genius as a kid. So the reality is I look in the mirror every morning. It's the same routine. 2:25, I'm up on my knees. Thank you, Jesus, for yesterday, today, tomorrow, and forgiveness too. All right, in Jesus' name, amen. Now go look in the mirror. I got to put myself in check. See, you're responsible for you, and God gave you the gifts, but you're not using your gifts. Half of you sitting there going, me. That's about it. You're afraid. You're afraid to do what needs to be done, and you shouldn't be afraid because you're going to do it as a division process. It could be a division of you or division of the corporation. Well, the reality is who's in charge is God and you. It's your life. All right? It's your life if you roll the dice or not. But again, what you realize is when you take charge, When will you take charge? Okay. The problem is procrastination is the killer of a dream. You are who you think you are. Every one of you have the possibility and capability for the next 45 days creating $1,000 to $5,000 a month income just off the credit I build you. Okay, it doesn't cost you a damn thing to create money. And then you get your feet wet and figure, okay, does that work? Okay, no problem. But again, it's like the coaching programs. I didn't want to do coaching last year because I cared too much. My wife says I'm a pleaser. So in other words, I care and I feel their pain. That's why I got out of coaching in 2009 before the coma. I let my senior coaches and junior coach do these things because I feel for them. I mean, literally, I want to solve their problem. I want to make sure they win every friggin' time. That's why in coaching, this will be my last year for me coaching. My juniors and seniors will do all the coaching. Plus, I should be a premium anyway, versus what I call Kmart pricing. So again, extra offers and goodies. Okay. So your goal, what is your actual goal? Okay. See, the thing is, your goal is an idea here. It's an idea. Okay. If your goal is not on the list, you're not going to reach it. Problem is, every goal you have, like the car, what are the steps to go get the car? How do you get the fleet price? How do you get the pricing? How do you get pre-approved? Every goal and every idea has steps, rules, and tools. Without the rules and tools, I'm sorry, you're not going to get there. And I can't find anybody that does what I do anyway in trying to help you in the first place. But it's up to you. Now, I think you should take your goals and push them aside. I like to control your life. I like to run your life for 3 months to 6 months to a year or so. I like to be in the driver's seat. Okay, I like to fly you around in my helicopter if I can. The reality is I don't want your goals because your goals are stuck. If you would have achieved your goals before, you would have already done it. So 10,000 makes sense. How do we get to $10,000 a month auto income? Okay, again, it's residual income, passive. I don't care what you call the damn thing. All I know is I was a little kid. I call it auto income. I need money automatically coming in. Simple. Then you get to 50. Then you get to 100,000. Income is how you solve your problems because then you get that basically stress off your back, and it's a monthly income. Now you're in charge. Cash flow, free up your time. What I put in my book. Page 6, paragraph 347 years ago. So if we look at this thing and we take time to look in the mirror, it's like today. Every Monday, I get a list before it's even published. Okay, what did you do yesterday to make today different and then tomorrow? Is it the same rerun? If we look at you want to do something, for instance, or at the repo list car. Right now, I can get you a car and you can lease it out on a weekly basis and make anywhere from 5 to 20 times the payment. The boats. Okay, why did I have 3 boats? Because I leased them out on the weekends, 2 of them. Okay, why not? Okay, I used to make $20,000 a month leasing out a friggin' boat. And if they want to hire the captain and everything else as well, hell, why not? Again, it's just an money maker thing to do. Houses, same thing, B&B or whatever. The apartment complex, the duplex, the probate list because people die. All right, and they don't have irrevocable trust. That's what happens. So they get stuck, what? Probate attorneys, and the family got diddly squat because they didn't plan to die. Okay, they didn't plan the problem. The divorce list. I've probably gotten more properties from divorced couples wanting to get a divorce and the property's nice than anything else because it's fun. I get to solve their problem at the same time, make some money. Everybody wins. I like that. So the bankruptcy list, people file bankruptcy, but they don't know what the hell they're really doing. See, they talk to the attorney and CPA. There's a company called Statewide that feeds the information from this court buildings to your personal credit reports. Bankruptcy, people didn't freeze their reports. They should have, so it didn't come on the credit file. That's what I did in mine in 2011, coming out of coma. It's like wholesale and brokers and supply and vendor credit. These are opportunities for you. All right, David's doing $3 million a year on Amazon alone, not counting the other things I've got him into. But again, what do we look at? Without the structures, rules, and tools, you're kidding yourself. In other words, what happens, all right, is a corporation. What type? We got to figure out what type do we want and what do we needed to do. Bottom line in the beginning, there's no tax for 3 to 5 million if you have an S corp, which C or LLC become S. So we get the money for you, corporation division process, supply and vendor money. So now what our goal is to get $10,000, $100 million. So if we do what you're told to do, I've been timing this in the last 36 months, I've made 81% of people that I coach or anything else I was involved with, literally $10 million companies. But I pushed them and I said, you got to do this and that and knock it off. Again, most of them listen. But again, what do? Don't think, just do. You see, you think too hard sometimes, and maybe you're guessing, but you know, it's really weird. You're stressed. You're afraid to do this because you're afraid it's going to fail. That would stress you, but you're already stressed. It's like when someone says, I got shitty credit. Well, if you screwed up anywhere, what's bad with shitty credit? Shitty credit, shitty credit. Again, we should always try. As long as we're trying, we're not dying. If we're not trying, we might as well be dead. Today, you should Google, all right, brand new house, all right, in any state, $100,000. You will find out right now you have 14 states. You can buy a brand new house for $100,000. California is ridiculous. But again, what do? It's 3 corporations. No, it's a corporation, 3 divisions, and 3 properties. You never want to buy just one at a time. They're 5,000 down. What do I get to do? Section 8 or a real estate office will maintain it for me. What am I really doing? I'm investing. I am the investor using the corporate credit to write it all off. I got nothing to lose. All right, I'm getting $10,000 to $100,000 a month. Again, it's like go to Texas, another state. Okay, again, we don't have to stay at the $100,000 mark based on the market. Then numbers can make sense if we buy a bigger house or bigger line of credit and we want to get that property $300,000 or more. What do? 3 divisions. We put a down payment. We close escrow. We're getting in cash flow, free up our time. See, when people go to the expos, I wish, and I've told all the promoters for years, why don't you have a hostess or person that knows everything in the whole expo and set up with this person, interview them a little bit. If they interview them, find out which way you can guide them into a business they need to do. But usually they don't do that. So what happens is, like in the expo, it's a deer in the headlights. It's kind of like getting stuck. When I had my client in Huntington Beach, because I did dry cleaning, laundromats, storage, all these businesses that didn't need employees, I was ran by a third party. I did those things. I had my friend, client, neighbor, whatever you want to call him. He got laid off from Boeing. I had him take that truck. I had him take a truck, a brand new truck. All right, this is the nice truck. It's a van. All right, all of a sudden he's, well, I lost my job. What do I do, Ray? You're an entrepreneur. You're on the radio and TV all the time. Blah, 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 blah. I said, all I hear is a whiny baby. What? I'm a direct person. I don't pull punches. All right, I try to be nice. If you don't get off your assets, I'm gonna say get off your assets and let's go get it. All right, stop the crying bit. It doesn't make any sense. All right, see, I didn't have time to feel sorry for myself. All I told him to do is very simple. Take that van out there and you paint the side of the van. All right, and you put logos and all kinds of stuff on the van, and you're going to be in the dry cleaning business. His wife went, what? That's my van. Okay, what did we learn? Every wife, all right, has to be happy wife, happy life. What do? So the bottom line is, because every man gets the look. I'm going to kill you, look. We all know the looks. So what happens is I tell him flat out, this van, all right, she doesn't want you to put or paint it all up. Okay, no problem. Let's get these magnets we put on the side. Okay, magnets. Okay, see what I'm telling you or what I did for him, you could do it starting today with no excuses. He took a silly van, put magnets on the damn thing. Went over here and they sell bags. These are the bags for dry cleaning with a little hoop and thing. Had them designed. They printed them up for him. He took 50 bags. That's all I wanted him to do. I said, take 50 to 100. Have the kids around here in the neighborhood put them on doors and say you pick up every Tuesday. That's all they did. Okay. The bags were put there next Tuesday. All right. Literally out of 50, 36 had stuff in them. So 36 bags put their dry cleaning in the bag. All right, to pick up and deliver it. Now they're doing dry cleaning this way and laundromat stuff, which should be done. So all of a sudden, what happens? See, when I was a kid, all right, you had Pizza Man delivery. Domino's wasn't the first one. You had Chicken A Go Go. They delivered basic chicken. All right, we had things like this, and they used to deliver diapers and shit, and bottles of milk and all kinds of stuff. I remember this brown truck having a bing, ding, 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 ding. There'd be donuts in the back of it. So again, what do? We do the same thing. Those 36 piles of clothes, all right, the factory was down the street. You drop them off, you pick them up. Well, what did he do? So his first month, he did $40,000. Then he got 200,000. The wife says, go ahead and change, I want the new van anyway, paint it, go for it. You see, if we can make her happy, all right, we're all good. If she's not happy, nobody's happy. That's how it works. So we took basically he lost his job. By the time we were done, we literally had a big building, all right, a fleet of vans and trucks delivering dry cleaning, doing about 300,000 a month, okay? And then doing other things and franchises and everything else. So your problem is going to be you, all right? You don't get off your assets, okay? You want something handed to you. You want something turnkey, but you're not willing to pull the trigger when I tell you to. And that's most of you, sorry to say, but it's true. My client, I said, here's 3 locations, 3. Okay, which one of the 3 would you like? I'm going to buy all 3. You don't want them, I'll buy them because I'm going to buy them anyway. That's what I do. All right, I'll let them pick. He wants all 3. I mean, he's getting $63,000 a month partnering with me. Now, partnering with me is not always fun, but he gets to make money. I want to get his hands dirty, learn all the good and bad. This means based on these positions and I did in helping close escrow and file through the pain, I got 25% of each location to my entities and what I do. He gets 75, but understand, if you play with me, we're doing my way. This means we keep 6 months reserve in the account. All right, the account and has a savings. All right, we're going to leverage that as well. And then basically after all the bills are paid, the total accounting, all right, basic forensic accounting to the T. See, I watched clients years ago, all right, buyers are liars and agents and brokers and your friends and family, I'm sorry, they kind of rip you off. Me, I'm going to look at the numbers because they have to make sense to me. So what did we do? He gets to 75%, what's left over. But we always see what's in the account. Okay, so what happens is we build a 6 month reserve. I don't want a no shit day. And that's the problem. But here, when we take this here, what happens next? I'm going to take the equipment and the assets of that business, and I'm going to basically leverage the shit out of it. That's right. See, what happens is you get 100,000 of credit for you. Okay, that's what you should have anyway. Like Robert here, every card I got him is $10,000 plus. It's easier to balance. Then corp and then divisions, no problem. But what happens is we want to balance the debt, but all of a sudden here, you got to realize corporations only get $1 million of credit by the time we're done. Between blueprint loans and credit cards, everything else, lines of credit and checkbook money, it's $1 million. But how do you multiply? Divisions, divisions, division, division. You see, I looked at it this way. If I have an address, I'm going to use the address because the address helps me set and separate cash credit reports for corporations. I don't waste an address. You'll sometimes hear me say that. I won't waste the address. So I'm going to suck up the equity, leverage the hell out of it, and we'll go buy another one, another one, another one. See, remember, if you partner with me, we're going to create debt, manageable debt. This means we're going to leverage everything because as I create debt, I'll set taxes. If I spend $50,000 and you've had it before, you pissed it away. If you reference 3 times 5, you leverage that money and you spend the borrowed money. What does it do as you grow your business? See, people who go to Shark Tank, hell, I go there too myself, but my wife's been on there, actually tried 3 times. She's been on there twice now. So what happens is, all right, as we play this, they have to leverage because they're spending all the money coming in. Well, if we leverage the money, we get to grow the money to more money and offset taxes. So the goal should be, all right, let's offset the taxes and grow a business. All right, you can't be afraid of debt. And the problem is it's manageable debt. The world's wrong. I mean, I watched Mark Cuban last week. Pay your credit cards, rip them off, throw them away. Mark, you're talking out of your assets. You just financed a friggin' building. Okay, you didn't pay cash, you financed it. You don't remember you had ketchup sandwiches living on the floor, telling your girlfriend the business is more important than her? I mean, come on, quit talking at your butt. It's like the other guy, oh, we don't want to buy your house. I don't understand, stupid. A man's responsibility for his partner of life is security. For me as a man, I have to provide my wife's home. I'll buy the home, she'll make it I'll buy the house, she'll make it a home. But again, her security is that house. All these rich and famous people, millionaires and billionaires, they make sure the wife's okay. When idiots are on TikTok and going, well, I bought an $8,000 bottle of wine, it's like, Grant, quit talking at your butt. I'm so tired of stupid. It's like we look at a laundromat. I wrote books on that and all kinds of fun stuff. What do? We get the laundromat. What do? We leverage everything out. The goal is this location should have no equity at all. Suck out the equity, leverage it to do more because you're building income. If you have equity sitting, that's called stupid. Okay, the only equity ever sits is your home. Your home, period. That's it. But your home shouldn't be your home. Your home should be bought through the trust in the first place. But again, what do we get? $30,000 by the time we're done with management fee. We gave them $17,500. I don't give a crap. As long as I got $30,000, what do I care? All right, people get greedy. Oh, we need to get more. No, leave it alone. It's working. Storage units. All right, these are easy no-brainers. All we have to do is get some of this to get some of that, and we get to win. Isn't that the goal? When I wrote Winning the Game of Business 47 years ago, I'm just telling people what I was doing for me. Okay, I will always be millionaire and billionaire. Now I'm working on trillionaire. Hell, everyone else is doing, why not me? Hell, I can do it too. See, I believe I'm one of the smartest guys on the planet. I was told that at one time by our government. I was one of the smartest on the 1,000 list. Okay. Well, I still thought I was number one. Oh, well. So storage units. Okay. Again, what do? It's a no-brainer. Your problem is you. Let's understand. All right, here, Berta. Berta's here. All right, she's a Colombian woman. All right, she's a housekeeper. She worked for people, everything else. Berta put $10,000 in a basically bridge loan. That's all she did. She got $1,100 a month. Okay, then she did another one. She's done 6 of these things. How much is her income per month now? See, this is the problem. All right, you think, all right, in the wrong direction. She created her income to replace it to free up her time. Isn't that what's in my first series of books in the first place? So if we were ever to partner, I'm sorry, I'm in the driver's seat. You just shut the blank door, leave me alone, let me go make the money, and here you go. That's how I like it. But again, it's like owning Jack in the Boxes. I've been owning those since I was 18 years old. Hell yes, why not? How about gas stations? Own a bunch of those too. Why not? I mean, hell, everybody's got to pump gas, right? That's what it is. When I was a kid, it was 29 cents a gallon. That's a long time ago. But again, not bad for when I'm only 39 years old. But again, what do? Location. Now, I had my 22,000 payphones. I was just making money. I just kept buying everybody's routes and phone payphones and all kinds of having fun. I mean, hell, this is a payphone giving me up to $300 a month. By the time putting it there, paying the fee, hell, it's just money. Or it's like a slot machine, clang, 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 cash register. That's how I looked at it. And the funniest thing is when one made them on Channel 7 News, someone grabbed it with a chain around and dragged it down the street. It was funny as hell in Los Angeles. All right, my wife goes, "What? Aren't you going to be afraid? What about the money?" Honey, he owned 22,000. Who gives a shit if someone steals one? Who cares? He's got insurance. See, you got to realize how to protect your assets anyway. But here we have a problem in California. California announced last week, they are 1 million units short, 1 million units. They're asking the public, please help us fill the void. They're even giving grant money to do it. I mean, if one of you take a nonprofit and get some EV charging stations and do it for nonprofit purposes, I mean, this is just an idea. I do a nonprofit and all the people like handicap vans and trucks, come on down. Why? Because I get more grant money. See, the goal is you just have to think and go get it, but it's up to you. Investors make money and then they get to bear the honey. Again, that's the goal. It's like today, if you took the time to have somebody drive you around, okay? And I do all the driving, okay? I always have, always will. My kids are great looking at, Daddy, what about that? What about this? What about that? We own that, we own that one. Let's get that one. Let's go on that one, okay? So if we take the time and we're on the passenger side, and I learned this when I My wife drove me to the house when after the coma because I'm walking with an oxygen tank. I'm not allowed to drive, can't even breathe. But I'm looking around. Look at all this stuff. It's like Christmas. Okay, see, you have to look at it, and you have to do it during the day and at nighttime. Why don't you own these things? I mean, I don't understand. You're highly intelligent, okay? All right, you're listening to one of the smartest guys on the planet, and you won't get off your assets and look in the damn mirror. Shouldn't you be looking in the mirror? Shouldn't you put yourself in check? Why don't you own the Wendy's down the street? Why don't you own the storage unit, the gas station, the dry cleaners? They're on every street corner. Hell, why not? They're there because they're making money. But again, somebody owns these things. Why don't you? I don't understand. Why don't you own these things? I don't get it. I don't understand. I can take corporate credit. I can get a bridge loan. I can do this. I can do that. I can get money. Okay, I don't have to have my perfect credit score, but I can go get more things and again and again. But again, if you're afraid, then you're not going to do it. Okay? But again, it's like anything else. It's going to be up to you to roll that dice. All I know is that it takes you 5 million is what you need to retire. 5 million is what you need. I'm never going to retire. I know that. My wife wants us to last year to go to our castle in Ireland. She's going to eventually get me there, but the only way I can convince her is my daughter is graduating high school this year. In other words, it's her senior year. She got to stay with her friends. I just felt I needed to be coaching my clients more. You see, I know when I'm done, but then from there I can broadcast as well, which is kind of fun. All right, so again, that's my way of staying here this year. But I'm going to travel and do all kinds of business trips anyway. But what do we look at? See, at your age, no matter if it's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, all right, you have to plan problems. You got to plan the problem. And then if you get through the fighting through the pain, you get the asset, you got to protect your ass. The reality is when you're dead, you're dead. You can't take it with you. If you make the list of house and office and you tie it into UCC1, irrevocable trust, you get to see where your assets go when you're dead. See, making this list puts it on UCC1. You don't get it. Every goal has to have a reaction. Every action has a reaction. I'm going to die someday. Everything I have around me doesn't belong to me, but it's on a list. It's on a list. It's tied to irrevocable trust. See, I plan to die. Now, I planned to die before, and I had this cassette letter. Honey, don't sign anything unless there's 5 people in the room. But people get tricked sometimes. But you learn from your mistakes sometimes, too. So we look at this magical form called UCC1. But it's not magical. It's just a UCC1. It's the entitlement of ownership. The house has a deed of trust, car has a pink slip. How do we protect our assets? Well, we want to tie it in, irrevocable trust. All right, that way it's not your asset anyway. And then you can be the puppet master like I've trained my kids to be. So it's like irrevocable or revocable. All right, revocable to me is crap, but that's just my opinion. They're all good for real estate planning. Irrevocable makes more sense to me. But again, you got to make your own decision for you. Here's where that picture you should always take. I mean, controlling 44% of storage units in California is fun, up to 44% at one time. All dry cleaners, laundromats, Wendy's restaurants, because they're just as good as a damn McDonald's, Jack in the Box, gas stations, parking structures. You're forgetting that. There are parking structures by the airport. All right, you can buy them. Isn't that fun? All right, you can lease them out. From there, you want EV charging stations. California needs 1 million one of those. Car wash, real estate, division process. So again, what do we get to do? It's like every project you look at. If you were to look at the broker's list I send or any property or grants.gov and all these pieces, we're going to look at a property. It's for sale. We look at things. I have 4 people from the past who work and find my locations. I'm bringing somebody in-house for location finding in the next 60 days as well. There's the goal. How do you go get it? Well, first of all, they want 10% down. Sounds good, but if I went to basically a DRCS loan, I would put nothing down but maybe $5,000. But my problem is now I have an income. Well, that's good to the corporation, but it's $13,452. But what is our problem? All it takes is one of those tenants, which I'll call a turd, to slip, fall, and sue me and screw me up. And that happens to everybody. But if we turn around and take the time to split deed these things, all right, the assignment of mortgage, all right, and what do we create? A cash flow, free up our time, 76,800 a month. That means I'm the banker for 30 years. I want to be the bank. Everybody should want to be the bank. Why not be the bank? But that's just me. Again, we look at Freddie Mac. These are things that Lewis should be writing down. So to John, Denise, Princess, on and on and on, even Kenneth here. Right now, Kenneth has 2 lots that he can quickly deed them to the divisions of a corporation. We could get free money from the government to build those properties and then lease them out. Or you could live in one. There's all kinds of ways to play the game. What is our goal? These are gone last week. I got 21 more units I'm playing with. What do we look at? All right, there's something called a DSRC loan. Long as you do the conversion and you've got positive cash flow, they're going to give you the money and the honey. Now, what happens is, for every 20 units where I get the dollars and to do things, every 20 units, I get $100,000. I go for units and the average is about 64 units. So if you were to partner with me, you got to do what I tell you to do. You're going to learn by getting your hands dirty. So that means $300,000. If there's 60 plus units, it's 100,000 per what? 20. So here's 300,000. In the past, you've had some money. I'm going to say you had money and you pissed it away and you're broke the next day. That's what most people do. Okay, it's like anything else. What do? We take that 300,000. Okay, it's $100,000 per units. That's 300,000 times reference of 3. 3. On paper, it's going to look like $900,000. But if I times it by 5, that's 4.5 million. So what I'm doing is I'm creating the money, the cash flow, and I'm leveraging it into higher limits of credit. I mean, Elon Musk did not buy Twitter with $44 million of his own damn money, because it's all tied in assets, not to pay tax. He had to borrow from 3 banks. Borrow money is not taxable. So here's $4.5 million of money. What do? Let's go buy some more units. Then let's suck out all the equity in all those units. Let's leverage the crap out of all and turn it to 100 million. See, creating your first million is a pain in the ass. 3 to 5 million, easier. 5 to 10, it's easy. It's a piece of cake. Okay. You ask any millionaire if they've really been a millionaire, they're not full of crap like a lot of people on TikTok. All right. And is it easier to make $1 million or 5 million? It's easier to make 5. The first million's a pain in the ass. Making $1 million is like pulling teeth and then trying to put them back where they were. Okay. Becoming the bank is the goal. What do? We look at different ways to obtain and lease a property. It's like I can show you right now about $4.7 billion of goodies, almost $500 billion of goodies. My wife's asked me something. She says, honey, show things from 15 years ago, please. We don't want them to know part of our life now. So I keep it and I respect that. So here's $500 million of goodies 15 years ago. Hell, why not? But again, that's only $500 million. See, the goal is to get to trillion. That's the game. See, this has always been a game to me. You don't get that. I played the game of business as a kid. You know, God's gift, the mansion in the harbor. They turned me down twice. I had to basically find out how to get it anyway, because I got 3 yachts, a race boat, and Sea-Doos and Duffy all over the place, and all 5 islands and 5 properties. Damn, it's fun having properties, but I need all my goodies in my backyard. I got my kids. It's like the race boats and the yachts. The Duffy, I got to take with the wife to Captain Jack's on Friday nights. We got to take the little boat to the restaurant. It's right there on PCH. Wow, most famous lobster in the world. But again, that's how you got to play the game to win. Getting the big building wasn't easy. They cussed me out, told me to go away, and 4 months later called me back. What are you talking about? I like to leverage things. When I helped Cats at Disney, it was fun. I helped Barbie. I helped Toll Brothers, on and on and on. And that's just me, because I look at things differently than most people. When Steve Jobs said I was the greatest lateral thinker he ever met, I don't know what it meant for him. But again, I'm trying to figure out what he's saying, what he's trying to do. God rest him as well. But the reality is, it's just me. I like Lamborghinis. I have a car collection. It's not mine. But I got the keys. Boom, boom, boom. But it's not mine. So I don't want to own anything. I just want to control it all. The year I got the Diablo here was simple. We always project our tax liability. They said I had to pay 200,000 in tax. I got on the phone, said I need a Diablo, send it over, please. I said, now look at it. I got $13,000 positive cash flow. So it's like pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. In other words, when you're spending money, if you're paying tax, you're having too much money on the books. If you create the lines of credit, you can offset the taxes. It's the art of packaging. Again, Lamborghinis, buildings, and helicopters and all kinds of goodies. So it's like here. I wasn't trying to really do besides what I could do. I could kick the door jam. At 10, I could kick the basketball hoop. Okay. All right. Why? I don't know. I didn't know that people couldn't do it. All right. But again, that's just me. I found out why. Research, I found out my grandfather, he's Richard Bishop. Okay. He didn't give a shit about me either. So Coach Bishop, that movie they made out of him and Roosevelt High and all that bullshit, Grandpa didn't give a shit about me. But that's probably why I could kick. He won the Olympics in 32. So here the Guinness Book of Records giving me crap. I kicked out the lights, are only 13 feet. So what my point for you is accomplish your goal. Okay? No more bullshit. Go get it. Throw the dice, roll the dice, go get it. But again, you can't partner with me if you're not willing to kind of jump. But it's like the word no. No doesn't mean no. No means they don't know how. That's all it means. No to me means they don't know how. They're stupid. I'll find a way. That's all I said in my head. You see, I'm one of the few, not one of the many. I don't want to be like you. Hell, I want you to be like me. I just want you to do what I tell you to do. And that's how it works. The 1,000 steps, I'm just trying to help people. I wanted people to understand how you can get there. All right. And that's what I did. Basically, the Millionaires Founders Kit. At the Bonaventure, 32 years. As my wife always kids me, yes, you were the second largest advertiser in Los Angeles. She gives me a bad time about that. Because it's true. I won an award. $5,000 a set. Okay. But again, you got to stop treading water and playing it safe. Your problem is you're sitting there going, that's about it. It's time to roll the dice and jump. You got to take that, all right, and be scared as hell, because that's what you need to be. See, people who get money do not evaluate the money. They don't value it. It was free. They didn't have to earn it. When you have to earn it and you're scared to death and you finally make it, it's like, damn, I made it. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like 750. I get anybody there. This morning we had actually 4 people with 800 scores today. So what do? Corporations, divisions. We need basically $1 million of cash credit. We need checkbook money. We need vendor and supply money. This is what we need. This is a must-have. Without it, you're guessing. It's like crazy stuff. You're not going to make it work. It takes money to get honey. We don't have enough of these. We don't have enough of these at all. All right. And what is it? It's not even money. It hasn't been money for a long time. It's a legal tender. It's a Federal Reserve note. At least it says in God we trust. All right. They've been trying to remove that too. But again, what do we look to get? Foundation is everything. Building this structure. All right. How do we build millions and billions when a corp can only get $1 million of credit by the time it's done? Okay. Then we have to multiply the division process. All right. That division process became other things too. So we built an umbrella. You don't have one, we give you it for free. You pay your filing fee. The goal is to stop bringing the pain home. It's not easy. It's never been easy. If you think it's easy, you're kidding yourself. I mean, I watch these young guys on TikTok and they're making $3 to $5 million. Okay, I'm sorry. When their bullshit runs out, they'll be broke. They'll be has-beens in probably 3 to 6 years. So they're over. They didn't understand how to do business. They knew how to coach and go blah, blah, blah. That's about it. Blah, blah, blah doesn't pay the bills. We got to put our ducks in a row. We got to repackage ourselves under the umbrella. So what we have to realize is it's like anything else. I proved homeless parks work before pandemic. I had my food truck, my washer and dryer side truck, all right, and my basically bathroom and shower and all this stuff, helping people. You know, you give me food, your cans and bottles, I'll feed you. But again, it's like Glenn Freeman here. Glenn, he lived in his car for 3 years. He felt sorry for himself. Wife left him. Boo-hoo-hoo. There's a better woman. Knock it off. His son's living at friends and family on couches. 3 friggin' years. It's like I gotta yell at Glenn, get off your ass, Eds, and man up. You got a son. This is ridiculous. You fight, you kill to get what you have to. But again, brand new house, brand new truck, brand new business. Homeless parks basically work if they would just listen. See, in a year from now, they're going to find out like they did the list last year for California. They pissed away $1 billion, can't prove where the friggin' money went, and they don't know shit. Okay, every 6 miles under the freeway is a dead zone. Homeless parks work. Affordable housing in Beverly Hills and Huntington Beach. I mean, how stupid could you be? But what can I say? We look at people even coming from prison, like Freeway Ricky Dicky Ross. Okay, here's gold and platinum cards, no problem. How many would you like? Again, Thomas. I take people that make it's easy because like Thomas came out of prison after 26 years. 6 months later, he's got brand new dump trucks, doing $5 million a year. Michael, God rest his soul, doesn't matter if it's basically Arnold, or we look at basically, Fishburne and Mama and Clinton. We look at all these things and Costner, okay, Giovanni for Pixar. We look at college professor writes a book. We look at Gold's Gem Superman. We look at Kurt Cobain. We look at she's got her videos out there and I build her $1 million too. So what happens is, no matter where we come from, okay, I had this argument with Steve Harvey, and Steve wanted to bite my head off with his big white teeth. That was going to bite my head off. We're on the beach. Kathy owns the station. Steve Harvey says, God made colored lines. I corrected him on the air. You're not supposed to do that, Mr. Harvey. Yes, sir. Like you're all that in a bag of chips. But the reality is what happens is I said God made people, not colors. So we have to be colored blind. He didn't like that correction. You see, I don't give a shit what color you are or where you come from. Hell, I come from Watson, Gardena, California. I don't give a shit. All right, who cares, incorporate for Lakers, Clippers, Dodgers, Angels, all rich and famous people. That's simple. But what do? 90% of people in the public's eye doing this wrong. They're all acting stupid. They weren't told how to do credit files. They weren't told anything but their friend and family member, get a cosigner, blah, blah, blah. My new program called Race Credit Kit is given to every high schooler in all 50 states. It's coming out. Here's the book. Here's a CD. Here's a little, stick. And I'll start your credit file free and get you your first credit card. I'm going to do it for every kid in high school. I'm going to knock off the crap. Your problem is you've been doing it stupid. Let's jack them up. Let's drop the score. Hell, let's get stuck. Can't get any more. Let's hawk our house and be stupid. Well, that's what most of you did. Makes no damn sense. Why would you jack up your own damn credit cards? All you have to do is put the stick in the back and no rules and tools. That's it. And then if you want to jack up a card, these are the ones you jack up. These you don't. I mean, it's simple. Every time they had a problem, I gave them a solution. That's how it works. They never bring the pain home. But again, what do? Okay, you balance your debt. Today, you might have to have a garage sale. You might have to drive an Uber or drive a Lyft. You might have to sell something like when I sold my wedding ring, my Rolex, my necklace, my bracelet. I told my wife they're being clean. No, I lied to my wife right to her face. I will lie to her in a second. I can protect her. That's the way it works. Okay? From there, I have to balance my debt. All right? I can't jack these suckers up. That'd be stupid. Before you jack it up, ask for them to increase the damn limit. And what do? These are the only cards we jack up because they don't fluctuate. They don't go up and down. They don't play the up and down show. Okay, that's the goal. They don't play up and down. So anybody on this planet being, using common sense can maintain a 750. So now we have this. We get the corporation, the divisions. We finance the American dream and go, wee! It's the American dream. But again, it's Ray's rules. So if you're going to build your foundation, you want to play with me, you got to make sure you play my way because I think your way sucks. That's just the truth. Sorry. But again, it's like you have debt. If you have some debt right now, you're going to hire the credit repair company. Well, there's my magic wand. The number one's been indicted 4 times. They got 1,000 freaking complaints. They rip you off. For 2 years later, you still got shitty credit. And the lady on TikTok, oh, we can remove everything. No, you can't. Collection account, unless it's been charged off, you can remove it, it'll come back on. They're going to go, nah, 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 nah. Again, what do? You kill the debt. 5 ways to kill the debt. The IRS, nobody likes the IRS. But the reality is you can't play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. You have to take that magical form called 656, 433 AB into offer and compromise. You got to rebuild your life. Credit repair is a fraud. I tell everybody, if you're going to play, we're going to pay our taxes. We're going to file a tax return. We're going to pay as much tax as we have to. That's right, as much as we have to. Because you have this 4506T or C, the creditor is going to send you to make sure you're not using a CPN. All right, the oh shit day. We all have them. Oh shit, I lost my job. Oh shit, I got shitty credit. Oh shit, my wife can't find her phone. So my little helper's not in the car to tell me how to drive since I've been driving since I was 12. All right, I messed it up again. I got a flat tire. I want the money today, not tomorrow. All right, see, that's the ultimate goal. My oh shit day, the biggest one of my life. $3.7 billion structure, bye-bye. But I knew I could rebuild it. And that was the goal. Client sends me this on July 4th. Stay away from yachts and boats and fireworks. Because I ended up dying 19 or 15 years ago. So bullshit doesn't pay your bills. I can't wait till that book comes out because debt consolidation today does not work. It's not consumer credit counseling that was on all your credit bureaus before. That was my company. But it's like anything else, bankruptcy, you file it, you didn't seal it. Why didn't you do that? Again, to make sure it doesn't show on your credit file. No one forces it there. You allowed it to go there, all right, because this company out there reports information from court buildings statewide. And now you got shitty credit even more. Congratulations. So I want you to think tonight, all right, a division of me. Division of me. When you guarantee something, all right, I don't want you to guarantee as you anymore. I want it to be a division of you. All right, I want you to guarantee this of the house, car, whatever it might be. So always think about a division, all right, to do something. Now, office is going to cost you $1,000, $2,000. Okay. Again, I had John here go, can I get discounts tonight? Okay. I don't know why, but if you want a division of you tonight, it's $600. Now let's take away your argument now. All right, I'm going to set the credit file as Experian, Transit, and Equifax. Okay. Now you got a division to replace you because sometimes being you sucks. Hey, I don't want to screw up my credit. There's your Zelle. Banks bought Zelle July 6, 2022. That's why I put it there. That's how they get to shut down locations. They get to get rid of Zelle. Zelle's the replacement for you going to the bank. It's a Zelle. Planning the problem. When I do a division and I buy that laundromat with you, or that basically storage unit, that Wendy's, whatever it is, we're going to buy it. We're going to get an income. We're going to suck out the equity. If that location sucks, we already got all the money we're going to get. We sucked out the equity to go buy another one. If we have 10 and we lose one, who cares? It's a write-off anyway. Bank of America is losing 8,000 locations. What do they care? They write it off. You care because that one affects everything you're trying to do. Let's plan the problem. It's like when we look at today's date, our goal is look at today's date. Let's project 90 working days and let's keep working at it. All right, you got all these people tonight, 6 of them right up front. I can just name them. They did part of it, but then they did a half-assed job. They stopped going forward. And that's the problem. They have to continue to go forward, but they got comfortable. Oh, that was stressful. It's like, stop. Again, there's no excuse. The only excuse is they're not doing what they need to do. All right, here's my goal. I'm a little boy. I'm 7.5 years old. Poker game says a corporation's a legal person. I wrote it down, went to the library. Okay, I want to figure out what it is. May sue or be sued. I didn't pay attention to that. I got named in a lawsuit at 12.5. So it's like having a shit day then too. But again, what should you do right now? You have to understand, you never looked about how do banks and grocery stores and cities do this in your face. In other words, some of you complain about rich and famous people. How did they do it? They got away with it. No, they didn't. They're doing what they're allowed to do. Banks own branches. Branches are corporations called subsidiaries. Your corporation will have divisions. All right, we will build millions of dollars of credit. Lose a division, who cares? We have another one. We have no intent to do fraud. Corporations should only do 4 things anyway. Buffer tax, all right, corporate credit, get all you can, okay, from there, and then you buy a car at fleet price and stay at hotel and get their free buffet. That's it. I don't think your corporation do anything else besides that. I've been teaching and preaching that for 47 years. Again, was the division, line of defense. Hell, I invented these in 85, 86. They're cheap, multiple functions. Buy at wholesale price, multiple credit reports, and separate liability. I've had some shitty tenants, okay? I'm counting on their money coming in to pay the mortgage. But again, you got to do the volume so it doesn't matter as much. What do we get to do? Disconnect, isolate, incorporate. All right, it's a line of defense. If we don't create a line of defense, we're not planning the problem. Debt follows tax ID builds credit reports. So the goal is, how do we do this? It's like the dashboards that I set up in the 70s and 80s. I'm setting up dashboards, training Yarborough, and all kinds of fun stuff. All I know is we all have only one SSN, because that's all we're entitled to. SS4 is per entity, corp, person, division, subsidiary. So I can create cash credit reports instantly and build credit. I can build up to that $1 million of credit, balancing you, balancing corp and the divisions, which I've done for people since 92. Okay, then we look at, okay, if I get the tax ID. See, tax ID loaded in my system allows me to set up a Sperian trend or an Equifax, or I have to use history, one of the two. History. A cash credit report finances the dream. Again, what do? I can take a division to guarantee a division. Again, we look at the SS4 form. We have to compare SS5, SS4. You or corporation and divisions. Legal name of entity. Individual person. So the system was designed, all right, the IRS designed this, all right, and what happens is like a corporation, Chapter 9 bankruptcy, Federal Protection Act, in case they have a no shit day. So what happens is the corps and divisions and pieces in front of you, your name can go right there. You can have 3 divisions of you, and why don't you? Again, what do? That's per entity, banking and credit purposes. We have no intent to do fraud. We have the intent to finance our American dream. When I was setting up the dashboards, I could watch, all right, TRW Sperian, from here, I'm watching TransUnion copy my shit. Okay, and, you know, I'll say it's their shit, whatever, Yarborough and all that stuff. And then Equifax doing the same thing. These people didn't have a brain to put 2 sticks together. All they did is from Fulton, California, copy everything we did. This is the dashboards for business. Sperian business credit. Do you not get that yet? This is tax ID credit. Write it all off time. Divisions, I want to have as many as I can. Owning shopping centers, kind of fun stuff. Laundromats, dry cleaning, Wendy's, or apartment complexes. All these pieces have to be divisions. Why? It only takes one turd to hurt you. And that's what I look at. To disconnect, isolate, incorporate. If I can't save a piece, I'm sorry. I'm going to put it over here. And within 6 months, if I can't save it, under the Federal Protection Act, public record, I'm going to bankrupt the hell out of it, throw it away. But I'm going to write it from my taxes. Isn't what the banks and grocers and cities do? So when we look at strategy, we have to hear this 1,000,000 times, cash supply credit. What am I planning? My line of defense. When I was a little boy and the janitor for the karate studio in Torrance, we learned the defensive circle, which means Chuck would say, put your hands like this and go in a circle. Somebody comes close, you jump back and you kill them or you hug them. It was kill or hug. That was it. Kill them or hug them. Well, if you know them, you hug them. You don't kill them. Let someone you love and hate at the same time. But again, that's a joke. But again, what do? I didn't have a family. You don't get that. I want to make sure if I have a family, I don't bring the pain home. And I swore I would never get married and have kids unless I had a foolproof program for myself. I couldn't find one, so I created one. Okay. I'm willing to sacrifice the division, not the corporate, my family. That is brilliant. Period. Brilliant. Because what do we get to do? We get to see who guarantees anything. When you guarantee from you, it's a duck and a sheep. Credit card, franchise, house. All right. It takes two divisions, one to receive it, one to guarantee it. That's how you have to structure. If you're going to do it on your own or we partner to do something, we have to understand how to do it together. We have to be on the same page. Okay. I don't need your opinion. Sorry. I look for your input, but at the end of the day, I don't care. I don't want to hear your input, to be honest with you, as much as you think I do, because I don't want you to think. My way works. I've proved it over 32 million millionaire times. Going to be 30 billionaires soon. So I don't need to hear some way of doing something different. We're open to maybe bettering it, but let's understand. Okay, I don't want you being a damn duck. I think you've been a duck long enough. Every division gets its own P&L and profit and loss statement and its own damn credit card. Why not? Every person in the United States of America is entitled to a credit card. Why not? Again, what do? We daisy chain every card. We never bring the pain home. And then we look at what's happening in the world today. It's terrible. You have more attorneys advertising on TV than any type of commercial. There are more bloodsuckers on TV saying, I'll sue everybody for you, billboards on the freeway than any commercial there is. And that just means one thing, an ambulance chaser. My client dies, God rest his soul, but before he died, he got a duplex. He gave it to his wife, Betty, irrevocable trust, and his statement was wrong. He says, honey, I set this up to give you an allowance the rest of your life. You never say the word allowance to a woman, ever. That's like wash your mouth out with soap. Okay? It's like my book called Bite Your Tongue, Live Longer. A man has to learn to shut up, bite his tongue, live longer. As my wife will say, she'll just bite your tongue, you live longer. She's Colombian. What can I say? So all of a sudden here, I said, you should tell her this is what I did because I love you, honey. This income is yours, so rest your life because I love you. She'll love that stuff. Give her some flowers, a pretty bow on it too. So the stupid attorney, after he passes away, takes it out of the irrevocable trust, puts it in an LLC, called stupid. I get her money back. Here's our problem if we're going to partner up in anything. We're not going to be the corporate us. We can't be us. Being you sucks. Being me sucks, okay? That means we're going to hurt. That hurts. We take the duplex. It's in a division. So the division receives the duplex, okay? No problem. Now, the problem we have to do is pay the mortgage. So we have two subdivisions. They, different names, so they can sue that entity. I don't know if unit A or B is going to fall and sue me and screw me up. Same time, listen carefully. Deed of trust, assignment of rents. Deed of trust, assignment of rents. What am I doing? Sucking out the equity. I'm going to leverage to get more property. You know how many people sit there, well, it's going to go up in value. You know how stupid you are? By the time it goes up, the tax is going to kill you anyway. So what do? Duplex is going to have an average of 3 units. House is going to have 1. Fourplex is going to have 5. So we have to plan the problem. The only thing is to plan the problem, everything you do needs to be a division. If it's not a division rolling the dice, you're a duck and a sheep. Because what's going to happen, you're going to have a no shit day. Lousy tenant, something's going to happen. We're going to plan the problem. So it's like if I say I want a laundromat, you're going to need 18 divisions. A division needs a subdivision. Why would you need 18? Let's say a laundromat. All right, we have the lease of the building. We have the lease of the equipment. We have the service company, the camera company. All right, these are subdivisions, and we're not going to guarantee anything from us. By the time you have 9 divisions running that laundromat, you need 9 subdivisions guaranteeing everything, which is not going to be you. So all of a sudden we have an oh shit moment. What do we get rid of? Well, understand, you're going to need these per location. Per location. You think by having 50 divisions is good? Oh, hell no. So that's just one location of a laundromat, one having 18 divisions. Now, if I say I want a storage unit, 36 divisions, that's only one location. You're thinking this is 35 locations. No, we're going to have 36 probably per location. You can have thousands of divisions by the time we're done. Because if one screws up, what do we get to do? Get rid of the piece. On top of that, we get to write it off anyway. It's a cost of a business. Let's see. Pay tax or have more divisions. Pay tax or have more divisions. I'll call the police or take out my trash. What are you going to pick? Laundromat, dry cleaners, storage unit, the apartment complex, 72. That's per unit location. So when I turn around and say, you better get some divisions, understand. Here's a corp, here's the division, 3, 2, and 1 more. That's 16 million. Again, do you want to get to 100 million to a billion? Some people get to, 5, 10 million, they're happy. And then they get older, slower, they're not as pretty used to be, and then they get ugly, fat, and die. Why? Because, oh, shit happens, and they lose them all. And now they didn't plan the problem. And they go, Ray! So when we look at divisions, they're pretty simple, okay? All right, to make John happy tonight, he asked for a discount. John, I'll tell you what. All right, I'll give you 9 divisions for $9.99 today, if it was Zelle only, okay? But that's only tonight. Simple. There's your gift. Zelle again. I love Zelle. Why? I don't have to send Scott to the bank 10 times a day. Isn't that fun? He loves it. Again, that's how it works. So again, a division. If I have a corporation, it's a legal person, so is the division under the corporate umbrella public record. But what am I willing to sacrifice? The division. If a division has 3 subdivisions, what am I willing to sacrifice? I'm basically planning the problem. Pay tax or have a division. Simple. What am I doing? Doing it right. My goal is to make sure I can fight through the pain. I'm sorry, I want you to plan a no shit day. I want you to plan it. Because when it happens, you're going to say, oh shit, I understood. I listened to Ray. For years, we had an Ask Ray class, and I always said, if you're going to do something, just ask yourself, what would Ray do? It's simple. What would I do? As I dissect and tear it apart, what would I do? I took my first matrix because why? They're shrinking my damn limits. What do? Simple. I loan out money. So for every $100,000 I would loan out, I got $41.33, all right, a month. So by the time I'm taking the $4.6 million matrix, I'm just laughing my way to the bank. It's fun. It's not me. They're all divisions. That's $190,000 a month. That's basically 41 divisions, auto income, in 1998. Now, see, the thing you don't get is the point. The assets who I loaned money to and the notes I got to carry were $1.1 billion. That's how we got to the $3.7 billion of corporate structure. Notes turn into money. The next one at that matrix in the book was $16 million of credit. I'm just showing people what I was doing. That was $661,000 a month. We got to the point $1 million a month was easy. Then my goal was $1 million a day. We got to that point too. So buckets of money. Oh shit day, damn. See, one thing can destroy everything you're doing. If you don't plan the problem, what did I have? 3 divisions of me, 5 closet divisions. I built literally $1 million of credit in 6 weeks. Bought my wife an extreme house. Why would anybody stay down in the first place when they don't have to? The reality is they've been following ducks and sheep all their lives. So always remember 3 divisions of me, 5 closet divisions. I came up with the number 8 because I was born on the 8th. And every race car, race boat, race motorcycle has the number 8 on it. And that was my goal. I wanted to make sure it had the number 8 on it. See, 8 and 0 are infinity beyond. Every time they have these little silly TikToks, can you pick 2 numbers? By the time they say that, there it is. My son's going, hey, Daddy, you got it again. I mean, come on, it's obvious. It's right there. It's easy to say. All right. So a division of me, which would be you, your name on line 1. The car. Why would I guarantee a car when I don't have to? It's a division. All right, and I guaranteed it from a division. I lease a building, it's a division. Okay, a piece of property. I don't know which one's going to slip, fall, and sue me and screw me up. I got to position my division right. I've got to understand receiving money under the SS4, no taxes due till we're profitable. The Fair Lending Act, even American Express said, would you like 99 more? Hell yeah, send them on down. But again, what do we get to do? We get to plan the problem and get all the goodies. It's like, on TikTok, I love it. You get these guys, you can write off your car. No buying, Sherlock. The problem isn't the write-off, it's who the car's registered to. They sue the restaurant, which would be you. So if you're going to play with me, you got to make sure you protect your assets every way, because I'm going to kind of fact check you. We're not going to play unless you do everything I want. Sorry. I don't want you driving basically your car. I want you driving a car at fleet price tax ND division, because if there's a bumpity bump, they can't sue you and screw me. For partners, that's what would happen. Blank runs downhill. So what do? We don't go to the dealership. Come on, that's ridiculous. Any man or woman who goes to the dealership is wasting their time for 5 hours. This really pissed me off in 1989. All right, this is Rebecca Schaefer and, my sister Sam, and I met her through, Robin Williams. He was a client years ago to the Laugh Stop and everything else. We lost two great people here. Robin, they shouldn't have went shopping that day, but again, they did. They left him alone. She didn't have a choice. She opened the door and he shot her in the head. I mean, that's why they came up with the Schaefer bill. I've had two clients murdered like that, and it's ridiculous. That's like the map for the stars, I think, should be against the law. Nobody should know where you live. So God rest her soul and her family. The goal is, again, we have to protect ourselves. P.O. Box mailing address. I don't allow my home address to be on a driver's license. I don't buy a house in my name. I buy it through the trust. Today, you need to write down some things to do. You have to be part of this. You have to plan the problem. You're in a bumpity bump. You hand them your driver's license, insurance registration. And then insurance registration and driver's license has your home address on it. That's kind of stupid. You're highly intelligent. What do? P.O. Box mailing address. From there, Mary. Mary's like everybody else. Mary married her lifetime sweetheart from 3rd grade. They're both Ivy League educations, making $250,000 a year. She works for Apple. Damn, she's making money. What did she do? She wants to start a restaurant. She does it her way, which is totally wrong. She gives $10,000 to the CPA or $5,000 to the CPA, $10,000 to the attorney to look at the lease and subleases. Oh, goody. When she used $98,000 of her personal credit to get that restaurant started, her credit score went from 800 to 600. And she goes, what happened? She calls them on the phone, and she's asking, what happened? All they can respond is, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They looked at the lease, looking at the books. The restaurant failed and filed bankruptcy. This stupid attorney should have had that division sign the lease and her to guarantee the lease. This stupid attorney didn't do that. He got his 10 grand. Okay, that's all he cared about is his 10 grand. That's why he calls it practicing law, because he's trying to get it right. The restaurant should have been a division. The CPA and tax attorney, he didn't care. He's looking at the books. See, the problem is shit runs downhill. She bankrupted the restaurant. She guaranteed her personally. They came after her. She lost her home. Her husband divorced her 3 weeks later, says, I didn't sign up for that. Again, what she had to do is basically do a division process. But she didn't listen to me because she came to me after she screwed it all up. Again, I had to rebuild, Mary, and that's what has to happen with most of you. Stop bringing the pain home. Making yourself a money-making machine, you have to start somewhere. All right, that means that auto income stuff. That means we got to focus on 5, 10, 15,000, 20,000, 100,000 a month. Being stuck. Gary, I got him 85,000. He sits there going, that's it. Danny, I got him 195. It's like they don't pull the trigger. All right, it's like some of you, it's like you're not pulling the trigger on certain things you need to do. Why? Why are you not doing what needs to be done? There's so many things you could be doing now, and you're basically dragging your feet. I don't get that. All right, it took me to actually push Carrie, all right, push to finally get her. She's doing 300,000 a month now. But again, was it easy? No. See, the problem with, let's say, a Blueprint loan, those are good. They transfer into your account. You don't pay until you use it. Checkbook money from the Chase or Wells Fargo, US Bank, whatever, the problem is it goes in the account. This is running. That money is going to be costing you money in 45 days. That means you have to turn around and I would say put it in a bridge loan or put it in an escrow. In other words, buy something. All right, money should be working. That's the point. It's like today, if we want to sell on Amazon and eBay, we got vendor and supply credit. David's doing $3 million a year on his Amazon store. $3 million a year. All right, he became a client during pandemic. He's an electrician. He's going to do almost $6 million this year alone. But again, what do we do? OPM money, Dun & Bradstreet, supply and vendor money. This, if you're backed in the corner with your debt, you take a picture. I took Best Buy and you gave me $25,000 instant credit. All right, having my 3 divisions of me. And that's how I got basically back on my feet a little bit too. You got to balance the debt. I did for Billy. I got him $51,000. He was just laying on the ground outside Bank of America. So it's like Amazon, eBay. Okay. Everything you do could be property, franchise, Wendy's, whatever you want to do. If we partner in anything, has to be a division process. I don't know which property is going to slip, fall, and basically sue me and screw me up. So I got to have them all divisions. I got to plan the problem. I got to have my house payment, also my taxes. From there, Amazon didn't pay tax for the first 10 billion to triple trillion now. Why would they pay tax? See, if we're going to master what we do, we have to understand what other people do and understand that's how they did it. See, there's no loophole. They can get away with it. They did what they're allowed to do. Your goal is to get rebuilt here, 750. 8 to 10 cards, 10,000 each. Corporation, the 3 green cards, 160 times 9. B of A times 9. All right, Wells Fargo times 9. From here, Inc. times 9. Gold times 9. Let me give you an example. Here we have basically our Avery. All right, we have basically, all right, Baca. All right, we have basically, who else I can point out that have cards that I've bought? Princess. I got a gold and platinums. Every one of these cards should be daisy chained to the divisions now. All right, and just understand what that means. Even American Express, there's way to CASA fee or it's free. All right, they're not daisy chaining these cards as I make the payment to build $10 million of credit. They're sitting there going, that's it. Not to pick on them, but it's just, that's like, damn, if you were back into coaching, it'd be dragging up to hell. But you're not. Let's see, that's on them. So what we have to look at is, okay, how will we play the game? What is our ultimate goal? Now it's time to go to the bank. The bank wants to give you a line of credit up to $150,000, no tax return, as long as you have the average balance that meets the requirement for the line of credit. These are my 5 favorites. I help and line up people for Navy all the time. You could have a 550 and still get Navy. Just don't have the intent to screw it up. $5.4 million. Okay. What do we do? Divisions justify the projection of $1 million. That's projection. That's what divisions do. We can have an honest projection and a business plan. All right. It's like credit, loan, and money. All I was doing is creating corporate credit. All right. Loan out some money to make money. I had that corporation. I knew I didn't want to do business. After I got named in a lawsuit at 12 and a half years old, hell, I don't want to do business. The corporation. All right, what can I create? I create a division process. Division for franchise, apartment complex, multiple businesses. What do we look at? 10,000, 100,000 a month. It's like lines of credit today, okay? A line of credit at the office is going to cost you about 10%. $2,500 for 25,000, okay? So they give you the discount, no problem. Normally $1,875. John, to help you tonight, you ask for discounts. For $1,000, you're gonna get 25,000 of credit. Okay, 1,000. Write it down. It's not gonna happen tomorrow. $50,000. Normally $5,000. Tonight it's $2,000. Okay, you ask for it, I'll give it to you. $2,000 for 50,000. $100,000. It's simple. Okay. All right. Basically, what's gonna happen is now it's $3,500. Again, there's your discounts, John. $3,500. Now I'll build you up and away. There's your zell. So when you ask questions like that, I'll always try to give you discounts. I don't get a commission or a paycheck for 32 years. See, your time. Have you got up an hour earlier every day like I've asked for all of you to do, most of you? See, I don't think you have your me time. I think what you do is you get up in the same boring routine, drag your feet out of bed, get the coffee, whatever, stop. You should pop out of bed at 2:25, ready to go and kill it. That's what I do. And after I do my praise God, look in the mirror thing. So making a money making machine, not hard to do, but you're going to fall on your assets. Understand you're going to fall down. You're going to get up 1,000 times. You're going to get so tenacious that you're going to go through and fight through the pain. You're going to own the things around you, and you're going to collect them, just like postage, all right, and stamps, because that's what you should do. But again, it's like the coaching programs. Okay, they're fun. Coaching is the only where I've found myself creating them into millionaires as fast as possible. All right, daisy chaining credit, increasing this limit or that limit, guiding them. The blueprint call to me is priceless. I always want the husband or wife or partner in life on the phone call because, we got to make sure we're on the same page. They have to understand what we're trying to do. So a blueprint call for that hour with husband and wife, it's $1,000. It's simple. From there, like the boring business. I'm going to pick the boring business because it makes sense to me. Every time I went for a laundromat, dry cleaners, all right, I wouldn't invest more than 40,000 bucks off of a card. I want to make sure I get 3,000 to 10,000 a month. 100,000 could be storage unit. Could be basically what? All right, an apartment complex. Could be the 250. All right, those are the things we look at. But again, different ways to finance a boring business run by third party. So it's like financing. I think people get stuck the deer in the headlight thing. I think they're stuck. I think they can't get past go. From there, let's own it, not run it. Then you're stuck with me every step of the way. What do we look at? 6 weeks coaching. 6 weeks of coaching, what happens is very simple. Here's the 6 weeks. Here's the blueprint. Here's 25,000 of credit. Here's expedited rapid. Here's all the classes. Here's the specialties. Okay, and that's what happens. All right, it's $4,999. Paid in full, you get no credit. All right, if you make payments. You can make payments, but we're really not going to give you credit to it. Okay, we're going to, whatever credit you have coming to, we'll do that and help you daisy chain it. But to offer you a bunch of credit, no, there's no reason to. At the $12,000 mark, it made sense. It's a zell. We look at basically real estate, franchise, storage units. We have to look at, okay, these are necessity. These are good during pandemics. These make money and income. I'm not going to get rich. I don't want you to be rich. I want your corporation creating up to $5 million because the IRS says $5 million below a small company. $100,000 a month, it's $1.2 million. And I want to help you get your first location. Then another one. I never want you to be rich. I want your corporation that you run to be worth $100 million and it to be rich. Again, let's get to the keys. 10,000, 100,000 a month. It's like what we did, okay? All right, and we got basically Joseph today and Mark and 2 other ones increasing their limits. Get on the dashboard, ask for this and ask for this. All right, the 10 became 15. Now it didn't show up on the credit file. Okay, the 5 between 8. Okay, we did that. Again, that's what we did. So, weekly calls, analyzations, all right, rapid rescores, and that's what we have to do. The goal is to increase the credit limits, projections, phone calls, daisy chaining, increasing limits. Like over here we did for Keith last week, increasing then what to do from here. See, there's a reason we get knocked down. It's God trying to test our faith and persistence. If we can fight through the pain, we're going to win. If we give up, that means the devil won. So the goal is like anything else. And this is what happens. You can get into 3 months of coaching. Not a problem. Okay? You can put 1,000 down. You will get no credit. Are you paying full? Then you get $100,000 of credit. You could get to 15,000, which is 6 months. 1,000 down, no credit. Pay in full, 150 of credit. Again, All right, 1,000 down for the year, work out your payments. If you pay the 30,000 up front, you get 300,000 in credit. That's how it works. So here's a way we can position that you're stuck with me currently, because my senior coaches, junior coach is going to take over. All right. If I don't go to our council in Ireland next year and do broadcasts from there, everything I do, my wife's probably going to kill me. Okay. All right. Like happy wife, happy life. Again, all right. Maybe you want the 250. If you want 5 to 10 million, what do we have to do? We need at least a couple storage units. We need a bunch of apartment complexes. Somebody has to own them. Why not you? Again, the goal is, if we do it with you or for you, do we get you the keys, or do we basically share a piece and we work together on it? 70% want me to do most of the work, 30% want to get their hands dirty. Buckets of money. If you got $5,000 credit card, 5,000, and you're not using it like in a corporate card, which you can max the damn thing out, you can create yourself up to $900 a month, from $809 to $900 a month off a card you're not even using. Wouldn't that make sense to exercise it? It gets more, and you now have an income. But again, you can do 10,000, 25,000. This is what I had to do to loan out money that made an income on the money I had in the credit to keep it alive, keep it growing. That's what it does. So you take your little picture and say, I need a bridge loan. Simple. But again, our goal is to get cash flow for your potential. That's what it's about. When we look at these pieces, again, buckets of money. What did I do? Loan the money on the credit to be able to maintain the credit. They're shrinking my limits, and I had 53 million at the time. I don't want to shrink it, so I create 190,000 a month. 41 divisions, 1998. Auto income, simple. The assets behind it were $1.1 billion. So auto income. How do we? Then some clients say, Ray, I want the keys. Good, let's. No problem. They get the keys in their location. 70% before you build it up. You're getting 75%. I get 25%. And this is how we created millionaires and billionaires for years. So again, I build you the credit. We're going to get it and do all the work. Let's go get it. You get 75%. I get 25%. We're partners. Don't be surprised. Now that means we're partners. All right, I like to hoard all the assets. I don't like to sell things. Why would I sell it? I'm making millions and billions. Let's have some fun. Certificate of ownership. It's a Zell if you want me to find a location for you. It's like anything else. When people need to use cards, they email, you want to use a card. Like on the Bridgelands, people do it every day. It makes sense. It makes money. So for those who want 250,000 credit, you're not going to get it until you start making $100,000 a month. It's not going to happen. 250 is a big jump. Again, you have your American Express or you have your Chase, and they'll position that and they call it a blueprint loan. Well, this is fun. But again, if I use my account, which I do for certain clients, not for everyone, I have accounts that are showing millions and whatever coming in monthly. If I use one of the little ones, 100,000 plus, I'm going to charge you $5,000. Use my account as a verification. Then if I get you the 250, you owe me 10%. That's how it works. So I can get you $250,000 of credit. I can get you $500,000 if you want. Again, that's credit per entity. But again, what do? American Express uses the platinum card as a gateway. So when you click your business card, it says blueprint. You don't apply, in my opinion, until you have that 100,000 a month coming in. Because if you apply before then, they'll say, come back in 6 months. I don't want you locked out for 6 months to a year. If we use my account, one of my accounts, all right, we're going to go get the 250. Then I want to make sure, because it's on your corp and your division, under your tax ID, now it's yours. Why don't you multiply it? That's right. Every division get 250. What do we get? 2.5 million. See, how aggressive do you really want to be? All right, when I was 26, all right, $2.6 billion of corporate structure, I'm going to get fat, ugly, and die. That's what's going to happen. All right, I got to keep busy. So that's just me. So if you want the blueprint loan, I'll let you use my bank account as I do all the work for you to obtain it. But the setup is $5,000, 250,000. The balance will be paid once I get you the limit of 250. That's how it works. It's a Zell. So if we look at these pieces, and if you use a credit card, what do? At the end of the day, you're going to have to analyze you. LLC, C Corp, S Corp. What do? I'll set the taxes. We want to pay as much tax as we have to. C or LLC become S, in my opinion. What are we end up doing? We want to make some money. If we understand that we can file a tax return, all right, jointly called single filing, it makes sense. We can get to the profit zone. Eventually, you're going to have an LLC in Nevada, by the way. All right, that's only when you're in the profit zone. And because Nevada is tax-free. And that's what we're going to look at. Your parent company will be out of Nevada. And you'll become the bank. And we're going to do the millionaire maker. If we leverage money, and this is the thing that bothers me, people will take 50,000 and waste it. I'll take 1,000 to 3,000 or 100,000, and I want to leverage in reference 3. If I reference 3 on an application, I can times by 5. I'm now creating a corporate umbrella, daisy chaining credit, and every division is going to be known as a bucket of money. The bucket of money. If I look at business CDs, I might use the one from Chase. I have a 31-day CD. See, the tools are there. All we have to do is connect the dots. And that's what I did years ago. All I did is I put it all together. God gave me the whole puzzle, the whole pie. And that's what happens, not just a piece. So the goal is leveraging. Every time we can leverage 75,000, that's a reference at 225. What does it mean? It's over $1 million of credit, usually at the bank. What do? We become the corporate millionaire maker. Will you do what you're asked or told to do? There's the goal. We can start with 1,000 up to 7,500 bucks. Lines of credit, we want to grow the business. So we always plan the problem, and we never bring the pain home. See, this is corporate credit. Borrow money is not taxable, which means you can take borrow money to buy your lifetime business, which should be real estate or franchise. Lifetime. Then you leave the legacy to your kids. Irrevocable trust. You become the bank. That's the goal. In front of you, in your life, in your city and state, you watch cities, banks, grocery stores file bankruptcy. Corp owning corp. Corp and division, we can afford to lose the division, not the corp in our family. So when we look at the banks that are now shutting down 400, 500 more locations, we look at the Sam's Club, the Geico, the Walmart, and we look at what's happening. We can do the same thing with no intent to do fraud, so we can stop bringing the pain home, to be the certified CFO, and learn how to play the game and look behind the curtain. When you don't look behind the curtain, that's on you. And that's the thing. Me, I'm going to look behind the curtain, tear it apart every time. I've had visions since I was a little kid. I tried to explain that when I was a kid. They thought I was crazy. Visions, dreams. Right with both hands to talk at the same time. Total recall, IQ of 203. They said I was retarded. I just thought they were stupid, sorry to say. But again, I'm going to do my best as Jesus does the rest. And I'm a sinner. I do my best. That's it. It's all I can ever do is my best at the end of the day. So the goal is, if you want to partner in something, all you have to do is learn how to play the game to win. But again, we're going to have to do it my way. Okay? I don't like your way a lot of times. And what happens is we're going to make a lot of money. All right? And then what do we get to do? Help a lot of people. The goal for me was always helping people. It was never about the money, because I can always make money with or without you. And that's the ultimate goal. So as we do these things, okay? So again, as we play this game, all right, and basically what we're looking to do, maintain the credit score. So all the pieces. So I'll have somebody work, basically reach out to you, John, tomorrow, because you have some questions as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I offer something tonight, I'd grab it as much as you can. If not, don't worry, the office, they're not going to honor anything I discount. They're not allowed to. But again, all right, when people ask questions, I try to help them as much as I can. Hopefully you understand, if you want to partner with me, everything is a division process. So again, this is where, all right, Kenneth, we're doing our coaching weekly. John, you need to do that as well. Avery, you're procrastinating in that next bridge loan. You should have did it 2 weeks ago. Lewis, you should be back in the program. We're babysitting your case every week. Princess, you should have basically took those and continue your coaching. John, Gene, and 1,000 other people here, I tell you all to do what needs to be done. Now, tomorrow, you can call 800-254-9506. But always remember, we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. At the end of the day, God loves us all.